Hello, my name's Owen, and I've created a tier list to rank the players competing at this year's Geoguessr World Championships. So I've also posted the link to the tier list in the description of this video, so feel free to use it yourself or change the categories or do whatever. I don't mind. So okay, I'll get started. Sheena won APAC with a very dominant win record, and I don't really see him. I don't really see him winning the event, to be honest. He's struggled in the past, but he's often looks very good. He played very well, so I definitely think he has small chance. Then Lendy obviously has a home crowd. I'm sure he's definitely going to get a lot of support in Berlin, and he's definitely had some good wins, but he hasn't really come too close to winning any events before. But I think kind of similar to Sheena, I can definitely see him doing very well. And Radu C is I think he's obviously the world champion and definitely could win again. Although I do think he's fallen from his former form a bit. I don't really see him winning as much as a lot of other players this year, but he's clearly still very good. And I might as well just say now that I predict Blinky to win the event. It's not a very controversial pick, I don't think. Don't think I really need to explain that. And Chibota, so it's interesting because he had a 2-year break, I think, to do the Singapore military service, I believe. But now he's back and he did very well. He's definitely more of a no-move specialist, I feel like. And I'm going to put him one tier below, Sheena, which is what it felt like in the APAC League. But yeah, I could definitely see him getting some good wins in the tournament. And Ling Ding is interesting, another APAC player, because nobody who I knew had heard of them, because obviously they're Chinese, and there's not a lot of Chinese players in Geoguessr, but I'm putting them here, I think, because they played very well in the World League, so they could definitely get some good results, but I don't really see them beating multiple top players in a row, really. Yeah, and Debre, I'll put him just above Radu here, and obviously second at the last World Championships, so I think that makes sense. Manuelson, so it feels like a very long time since I saw Manuelson play in the World League. So obviously, after Steve got disqualified, he moved up into auto qualification, and he's definitely one of the best no-move players in the world. But I think his moving is definitely lacking a bit compared to the other. I think to be a favourite to win the tournament, you have to have be very good at moving. So I don't really see him winning, but I'm going to put him in the top of the outside shot category. And next up, Captain. And so Captain's interesting. He's definitely very good at moving, and he's quite a well-balanced player, I think. And I feel like they didn't show many games of him in on the official channel in the World League. But he did well last year and made top 16. So I'm actually just going to put him in just vibing, because the thing is, every player in the tournament could go far, but I thought I need to actually have some interesting, or some players need to do badly, I guess, and it's a prediction, so yeah, I'm going to put Captain. Well, I guess I don't know if it's a prediction, but I can do what I want since it's my video. Yeah. Okay, Clement. Yeah, I have a very high opinion of Clement. He knows a lot of moving info, and he's definitely one of the best no-move players in the world. And he's very good in ranked as well, which I rate quite highly. In terms of how good you are at no-move, at least, doesn't really show much for moving. But yeah, I think Clement played very well, and he auto-qualified. He could definitely win the tournament, I think. Okay, next up, Malfunction. Malfunction is one of the best moving players in the tournament, which automatically makes her very good compared to most players. But she struggled in the past. I'm sure she'll be quite happy to have made the event at all. I mean, obviously she pretty expected to, but that wildcard against Lenley definitely could have gone either way. But yeah, some very strong moving performances, which I guess I'll put her in could go far. And okay, Consus. Okay, I think Consus is just always the favourite to win the tournament, to be honest. I don't think I need to say much about him. And okay, Jamavi. I believe he qualified through the, what's it called? The wildcard thing, like the play-in, yeah. And he's definitely, I think he's fairly balanced. I think he's more of a no-move player than a moving player. And I definitely think that he could do very well. But in the World League, I don't really remember him beating any of the top players, which, I want to put him higher, but I feel like you have to beat a top player to, go far in a competition, and I can see all of these players doing it, but I feel like Jamabi hasn't really... He's played against, Blinky and, Consus Debre, and I don't remember him getting any wins against them. Okay, Kratsu. He didn't do too well in the World League. I think he barely qualified to the play-in, but managed to qualify top of his group in the play-in. And he's very good at moving, but yeah, because of his World League performance, and I don't believe he qualified to the World Championships last year, so I'm also going to put him in the just vibing category. Okay, Ikao. So I think Ikao is quite an interesting player to me because I hadn't heard of them before this World League, and they performed very well. I especially remember, I think a game against Radu they played, and they played very well against everyone. They made some insane guesses, so that definitely makes me think that they have a chance to beat any player. And yeah, they're also very balanced across the game modes, so I might put them at the bottom of the outside shot category for now. But yeah, I think they basically beat every player they could have beaten in the Americas. Maybe not MK, I can't remember. But yeah, so they haven't really seen them like a player who they're just worse than yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. Okay, the Gym Intimidator, who has some... He got quite unlucky not to qualify straight to the World League, but he did it through the play-in, and unfortunately I think I'm also going to have to put him in the bottom category, just because I struggle to see him beating many of the players above him, especially in moving, but also he's not... every player here is insane at no move, which they're mostly on quite an even playing field in my opinion, apart from players like maybe Radu and Blinky and Manuelson perhaps. Okay, Finbar. Okay, I think I'll put him in the could go far category. He did pretty well in the World League, or he also qualified at least, and he also qualified to last year's World Championships, which wasn't easy to do. So yeah, he's definitely considers himself to be very good at pinpointing, I believe, which is definitely an advantage. But I think last year's performance at the World Championships and this year's World League hasn't given me a lot of confidence in him. But yeah, I'm sure all these players could play very well. The other thing is there's such a big gap in time between the current the most recent competitions they played and the World Championships, that there's so much time to practice or not practice, so the skill level of the players will definitely change a lot in that time, I imagine. And MK, he has been doing a lot of grinding, I believe, and a lot of people have been saying they think he's one of my favourites. So I don't watch the most MK streams or videos, but I believe that other people that I've been hearing about saying MK is playing very well. So I'll put him in the other favourites category here. Here, next up, Noxy. He is no move specialist, and he qualified through the play-in, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna put him the top of the could go far category, because I can definitely see him beating a top player, but I just think that his moving might let him down a bit against if he wants to beat someone like Blinky. Obviously, is the player who someone's going to need to beat if anyone else is going to win the competition. And I think you're going to have to be very good at moving to beat Blinky, especially with individual multis in the game. Okay, next up, we have Geoguessr. And I'm actually going to put Geoguessr in the either other favourites or outside shot. He has that moving ability that I was talking about that you definitely need. And he's definitely very good at no moving enemies there as well. Maybe not top level winners, I wouldn't say, but he can definitely compete with everybody. And since he's the only person who wasn't in the World League, it's so hard to compare against other top players. I mean, he did very well against top players in the Open Major, which has definitely convinced me to put him very high. And everyone knows how good he is, I think. So I'll put him at the top of the outside shot category. I want to try and even out the tiers a bit as well. Okay, and Moo. I'm actually going to put Moo also in the outside shot category. And I think Moo is definitely one of the players who has the most potential that hasn't been released yet, I guess you could say, as well as maybe Sheena. As a player who have competed multiple times before and haven't quite done as well as they could have. But unfortunately, I don't really see Moo, I don't really see him winning the event or making finals, but I definitely think it's possible, especially, definitely if he's grinding, then he can be very good in almos, and I think he can beat anyone, so yeah, I'll put him there. Okay, next up, Karania. So, Karania, auto qualified from APAC, and I don't really know where to put him. I think he did worse than Ling Ding in the World League, so I think I have to put him behind Ling Ding. So I guess I'll go the top of just 5 in category for now. And yeah, I'm sure that he's capable of doing well, but recently it hasn't really been going great for him, I guess. Definitely some inconsistent results. Okay, Bulgarian Joya. He is actually one of my favourites to win the event. I'll put him just below MK. And the reason for that is obviously this is his first competition because he just turned 18. And I've seen him do very well in a lot of tournaments, and also he's very high ranked in competitive, which is quite a good indicator of skill in my opinion. And he's also very high rated in moving and all 3 gamers. And I've seen him do well in so many events at this point that I think he definitely stands a chance against anybody. And finally, Stefan. So, the 3rd place at the last World Championships, but he seems to have been struggling a bit in the last World League. Oops, I'm going to put him in could go far, I believe. I'll put him above Finbar, but below Tribota. I think it's clear that he has a lot of he's good enough to do very well, but it didn't really look like he is one of the favourites based on how he played in the World League this year. But it's still a while until the World Championships, so it will be good to see how all these players do, and I like all the players who are playing. I hope that they all do well. So yeah, I hope no one got like insulted from where I put them. But the thing is, everyone is capable of making like top 8 at least. So, and I have to put some players lower down. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone, and good luck to everybody. Good luck beating Blinky, because it's going to be a very difficult feat this year. Okay, and that's the end. Goodbye.